Once upon a time, on Smith Street, stories meant something. They traveled by word of mouth, and they shaped neighborhoods. They built culture. Welcome to Yore on Smith Street, where the days of yore meet today's headlines, where current events get context, where pop culture gets perspective, and where the stories behind the stories actually matter. From what's trending to what they're not saying out loud, to the moments that make you pause and say, hold up, wait a minute. We're not just reacting, we're remembering, we're connecting the dots. Because everything happening now, there's always a story before it. Hi, my name is Jaren. I perform by the name Smith Street. Welcome, you're on Smith Street. Let me tell you a story.
A little bit of verb never hurt a soul. A little bit of reverb on that thing. It's a tad bit of reverb on my mic today. Just trying it out. What's going on? You're on Smith Street, episode 6. Holla at your boy. It is April 1st. April Fools! I don't have a joke or a trick. This is just, I'm here showing up. I'm gonna be honest. It was a little tough to do this time. I had a little bit of some procrastinations, I guess, hesitations, some doubts and things, but we don't stick to the mood, we stick to the plan. And the plan was to show up every Wednesday for 7 episodes, the first season, and to come back with a different approach in the second season, and to keep on going and grow and grow. So that's what I'm going to do. And there's so many ideas that come and things happen, and again, I think I said it before, your plan is to do something and you want to change it up because it isn't working, or it seems like it isn't working. But I think for me, it's to complete something and keep on moving. Of course I want to go viral. Of course I want people to see the shit that I'm posting. I'm not doing it for nothing. But the process, what I'm learning, and who I'm becoming is more important. I want to build this email list. I want to build a community. I want to attract brands, because that's what's going to help sustain this and keep this going. And I'm not going to say what I don't want. I'm just going to say what I do want right now, because that's what's most important. So let's ask a question to ourselves. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm asking it to myself as well. How many times have you posted something and it felt like you should have done better? Because you know the effort that you put into it. And I know what that feels like, definitely. I definitely am here right now. But instead of sitting in frustration, I decided that I wanted to reframe this. So without saying too much, again, I had the opportunity to speak to someone to give me some insights on what I've been posting, how I've been posting, and how it can be better. Okay. And I listened. Now I'm going to be honest and say I asked a question, and I don't know if the answer I got was the most straightforward because of what I saw afterwards. And I believe that's what affected my mood the most. But I decided that I wasn't going to stay there, right? So I said, okay, I don't know the details, and I'm pretty sure there was a reason for that, right? So whatever. What could I get from this conversation and apply right now to make things better? So one thing I noticed is consistency isn't always about just posting. But it's more about training people and platforms to expect you on a consistent basis. So if I show up 3 times a week, every week, that matters more than just randomly posting every day and disappearing, because that may not be sustainable. But the 3 times a week is sustainable. You could do that, which I had to be real with myself about, because I've definitely been posting every day, multiple times a day, and there's no real result. what's happening is because of how I'm posting and the tools that I'm using, some of them don't give me the option to place things in the proper place for the best optimization, I guess, for these platforms. For example, the headlining text was out of frame. And because I did it with the template, I didn't do it in the Instagram app. I didn't realize that it was out of frame. And this could be affecting my views. So for the last 2 weeks, I'm scheduling these posts and they're going up, but people aren't seeing them because the presentation isn't the best. And it's not about, I think it's more so, it's two things: the algorithm not being able to recognize it. But if people don't see the text, they don't stop. If they don't stop to scroll to read it, then, so these things are so important. Those guidelines that are in the Instagram app, the Instagram Edits app, they're there to tell you where to place things. And of course, this is obvious, but I wasn't using the Edits app for the post, which is the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're there. It's pretty much self-explanatory. I would think so. But yeah, those guidelines are there so that you keep the text, captions, text, and anything, any information in the frame. That's so important. So yeah, now I'm looking at my content differently. Not just is this good, but is this readable? Is this watchable? Is this landing right? Because hopefully this helps my reach. And then there's the part that I don't really say out loud too often. I haven't been really doing too much talking on camera. And there's a reason for that. It's not because I'm scared. It's more because I like to look a certain way on camera. If I'm being real and honest, and audio, I could be sitting here butt ass naked. You would never know. I'm not naked right now. I'm half naked. Okay. And of course, there are times where it doesn't matter. If I'm here painting, it doesn't matter. I'm painting. Or if I'm building something and I want to record the process, I'm not really concerned about that. So context matters. But if I'm sitting here doing a talking head with the intention of, producing a show, I want to be groomed. It's just plain and simple. And could I push past it? Absolutely. I've done it, but that's not the point. The point is that I'm not going to sit here and act like it doesn't affect how I show up, because it does. Now, if you're listening to this, you probably have your own version of that. Something small that turns into a reason to hold you back. And it's not always fear. Sometimes it's just preference. But at some point, you got to decide what matters more, looking perfect or showing up. So I watched the movie Blackberry over the weekend. And what stood out to me was how it looked. The story was great, but some scenes were clean and polished, and some felt raw, handheld, like guerrilla style, almost like The Office. That style, it was really cool. And it fit the time period very well. It worked. It didn't feel unprofessional at all. It felt real, which made me think about how I'm showing up, because I have the equipment to produce really quality work, right? It takes a lot of energy though, right? And I don't have the crew. It's just me. It's not, and this is not a complaint. This is just the reality of the situation. But things don't have to be so polished. Maybe it's just the energy. And when the time comes, then we do polished things. But for right now, maybe it's just more about the energy behind what is being done. And that's what people are going to connect to. Side note, like when my song, My Love, got on Billboard, I did not have the best equipment. My studio was still in garage form, literally. And it was the bottom of the bottom equipment. Like I did not have the best equipment. We recorded that song right in this very room that I'm sitting in. It didn't look like this, but right in here. And it got to radio, went to Billboard, and all of those things. So the best equipment isn't always the deal. It's what you do with what you have, how you use what you have. I know that. I've been doing this long enough to know that. But I also have been doing it long enough to want to do things with good enough equipment where I don't have to be busting my ass. You get what I'm saying? Then I came across a story about how in the late 70s, Pepsi was competing with Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola had the advantage in the market everywhere. So Pepsi didn't try to beat them head on. They changed the strategy. They found another way in by purchasing these restaurant chains. I believe it was KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut. But the point is that it maybe post-smarter, adjust, and look at what's actually happening and move differently. So they bought these restaurants and put their product in these restaurants. And at the time, all those restaurants were failing, right? And people said that this was desperate. And then they had another problem because Pepsi isn't a restaurant business. They're a drink business. They didn't really know how to manage those restaurants. So things started to go downhill and they ended up selling to the company Yum. But the contract is that Pepsi products stay in those restaurants forever. So Pepsi solidified because they own where, but they owned where their product was going through. They owned the machine. And then after they sold the machine, they still set it up where their product has to go through there, which is genius. You know, like, all right, so Coca-Cola, y'all got it. But we're going to solidify ourselves right here and make sure that we last forever. You do whatever the hell you want to do. I don't even, to be honest, Coca-Cola is not my favorite drink. I like some Coca-Cola products. I'm talking about cola, the flavor. If we want to talk about cola, I would actually like a Pepsi more than the Coke. I don't like the aftertaste of Coke. Now, I do like Simply Lemonade. Does Coke make Simply? I believe they do. Anyway, that's my point. I don't even drink soda like that. I like lemonade. But if I am going to have a cola, I would prefer a Pepsi. A cherry one at that. Cherry Pepsi is way better than cherry Coke. Argue with your moms. Anyway, people, street lights. I've said what I had to say for the day. Adjust. Figure it out. The gist of today's episode is maybe it feels like it's not working right now. I get that. I'm in it too. But it doesn't mean you're off. It just means you're still figuring it out, figuring out your approach. And that's part of all of it. That's part of the journey. Keep going. And just don't stay the same while you go. Evolve, change, adapt, pivot. You heard? Eye on the prize and not what other people are doing, because that will distract you. And I know, I get it. Trust me. Don't let it work. Focus, move forward, build. And if anything, you just got what you built and you're proud of it. The end. I keep it classy. You know my style. Nice and smooth like a vintage ride. Yeah, I go the distance. The ride is long, but for you, I go the extra mile. Like a diamond or a memory. This warranty lasts for life. Yeah, I'll be there with the loyalty. You know I'm down to ride. classics everlasting. Unlike no other, cause there's only one. I'll be the food for your hungry soul. Yeah, that shit hit different. Like yo mama chicken, no substitute, cause there's only one. Like a diamond or a memory, this warranty, it lasts for life. Yeah, I'll be there with that loyalty. You know I'm down to ride, yeah. Still make you like me, don't make you like me. I come with a promise, I gotta be honest. Still make you like me, don't make you like me. In a world full of plastic, classics everlasting. Still make you like me, don't make you like me. I come with a promise, I gotta be honest. Still make you like me, don't make you like me. In a world full of plastic, classics everlasting. Ain't nothing new, it's all been done before. Take what's old and then you add what's yours. Cancel out the noise. Got a glow from inside when you're a prototype, one of a kind. Still make you like me, don't make you like me. I come with a promise, I gotta be honest. Still make you like me, don't make you like me. In a world full of plastic, classics everlasting.